one of those individually intonation-wise, can I? So what ends up happening is there tends to be one or two that give me problems because of the notes before or after. For example, I play my B flat with the fourth finger on the D string. I very rarely do that, but it's important for this piece, so I'm really practicing that. It's kind of a new note. I don't usually do that note there. But the rest of them generally are in tune because I know where a D is, and I know where a C natural is, and I know where a C sharp is, and those don't change. No matter what piece it is, a second finger on the A that's a C sharp should always feel the same. Does that make sense? So let's do that scale again. And I want you to really think about where each one of your fingers is. So we're going to do it this way. So you can really think, okay? Ready? Let's start together. Ready, go. That first finger. So we're going to do those four notes again. Ready? Go. But not too fast. Oops, is that in tune? Good, we're going to go back to third finger on the D and do that next up. That wasn't quite tuned, do it again. Right there on your thumb this time. And we'll do that again. That was much better. Same exact one. So, yeah, so you kind of on the side of your thumb. I think we talked about that. Did we talk about that?
We have it for a little bit.
Okay. So right there. Let's try that again. So in other words, right about where that out is actually, or whatever that is that you're scraping off. Don't scrape it off to be helpful. Okay, let's try it again. Oops. Lower with the thumb. Bring it. Right now you're like this.
Yeah.
Can you watch?
Yeah.
You like this, and I want to see you more like this. Can you do that? I think you see how I did that. So you're going to come under, and around. There we go. Now try it on the G string. We'll do the two notes again. Ready, go. not going to be much fun. Okay? But that C natural is in the same place every time. Now coming from the third finger, which is where you struggle with the most, it's going to feel like more of a stretch than when you go the other direction, second finger to third finger. So C natural to D feels closer than D to C natural in a weird way because of the way our hands move. But it's going to land in the same place, so just kind of memorize that. Now, listen once. Play just that much and see if you get it perfectly in tune. Don't move on until that first note's in tune. If you have to take time, that's fine. Is that perfectly in tune? No, you try it. Is that perfectly in tune?
No, but better.
Very good. Try it again. Good. You fixed everything. Now can we have less fixes? What do you think?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. So let's do it again. Oops. Try it again. Good. Now I have a question for you. We took your tapes off a while back because you seemed to play better in tune without them because you were too focused on them. Well, what would you think of putting a third finger tape on here for this piece?
Okay.
Because if you start wrong, it's going to be next to impossible. So let's just try it and see if maybe by just having a one, because your first finger is generally pretty well in tune. It's pretty well behaved. And your second finger, if it's clear on where it is usually pretty good. But your third finger can really throw you off because we're starting on third finger a lot in the minuets, in fact, every time. So if that's off, then you're just practicing something incorrectly, and that's a real bummer. Okay? And sometimes we take off tapes and then we put them back on because we get more out of them. And you're wanting to be a little too high, which comes from trying really hard. Our muscles contract. Good. Now, let's try that. So now you can look and listen. Don't forget to listen though. Let's go on. You got it on a backwards bow, so let's try it again. What do you think? Better or worse?
I think worse.
You think it was worse? Why? What do you think was worse? I thought it was better because your third finger was always in tune and your second finger then was in tune most of the time. If it wasn't, you adjusted it. Now, this moving the thumb down a little bit and not clutching, that makes your fingers quicker to move back and forth between positions. Okay, that's why that's important, so it's all tied together. Let's try that again. Was that low two and two? Okay, relax and let your fingers move individually, not as a group. Okay? It's okay. Now, why is your two down? Should he be down?
No.
No, okay. Good, that's better. Good. Now rest position for a minute. I've been working you hard. If you clutch, it's really hard for your second finger to move to the right place. And as soon as you're out of tune, what do we naturally do? We clutch because we're worried we just messed up. Oh no, what are we going to do? It's not a big deal to mess up. You're going to mess up a lot. What's a big deal is if you don't stop and fix it. So I want you to do every little phrase and stop and say, was it in tune? If it wasn't, just do it again like we did at the beginning. No big deal. It's a big deal to keep practicing wrong notes. And you have worked so hard and done such a great job with your bow and getting it all, getting this piece down. I think this can be ready for the recital. Really for me, the big thing is not even the tone. We're getting actually a really nice tone there at the end. Once you relaxed. Whew, I got through it. I have to relax and play. It's the intonation. So lots of G major 2-octave scales is what I do, because if you can't play the scale in tune, you're not going to play a minuet 3 consistently in tune. You might get lucky sometimes. I'm going to leave that third tape on there because you also have to start on the right note, okay? Now, how long that stays on there, I don't know. You might come back to me next week and say, I want all my tapes on because, wow, that's a lot easier now. It may be harder, it may be easier, but I think we need to leave it on for a week, okay? And that's not a big deal. Most of my students have tapes well into book 3. So it's not like you've done something, oh no, and I put it on tape, put it back on. It's not that at all. It's just that I noted that it was easy for you when you're concentrating to kind of scrunch up and then you're out too. Okay, let's try it. Let's try it with the piano this time, shall we? Because I know that always really helps your intonation as well. And that'll give you a chance to fling it through for me. Alright? And relax a little. So fix your left hand position. And here we go. A little lower with your thumb, so bring the whole thing around a little bit more. There you go. Yeah. Don't squash the frog. It makes it really upset.
We do it with the CD.
With the CD, okay. And my fear is that may actually be counterproductive because it's so fast. So if it doesn't seem to be pulling this better in tune, then don't do it. But if it does, then keep doing it. There are different things you can get to slow it down.
Right.
But just kind of keep your ear on that. Is like, is it better or worse?
Right.
Because sometimes if we're in a rush, we don't play as accurately. But with the piano, just not. I thought it was much better.
Yeah.
Okay. So your job is to stop every time you find an out of tune note this week. All right. I call this schnarp hunting. Schnarps are right. We talked about schnarps. The little mythical creatures that live in the cracks between the black and the white keys. They don't really exist. They're sort of like gnomes and fairies and all these things that don't really exist.
Wait,
So you're
are
supposed
they?
to find them all and get rid of them in the forest of Minuet 3. But I think that would be fine for this side. All right? Okay. Very good.
Are snarps notes that